1 minute.
Okay, ma'am. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Madhumita Art from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, here to host today's program on innovations in the world of IoT, organized by St. Joseph's Robo Club, St. Joseph Institute of Technology. I would like to extend my first and foremost gratitude to our chairman, Dr. B. Babu Manoharan sir, our managing director, Mrs. S. Jasipriya ma'am, director, Mr. B. Shashisekhar sir, and our respected principal, Dr. P. Ravichandran sir, for providing us this wonderful opportunity. On this pleasant day, I would like to cordially invite Dr. V Sangeetha, Manager, Research and Development in Networking and Communications in FLDEC Systems Private Limited. I would like to thank you for accepting our invitation and joining to share your skills and experience. We are extremely delighted and grateful to have you here, ma'am. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our Head of Department, Staff and Student Affairs, Dr. C. Jnana Kausalya ma'am, and our Head of Department, Lab Affairs, Dr. G. Rohini ma'am, for their endless support. I would also like to express my gratitude and welcome the Head of Department and the Lab HODs of the CSE, IT, EEE, Civil, Mechanical, and the Science and Humanities Department. Last but not least, I would also like to welcome the students gathered here for the session. It gives me immense joy to welcome you all to make this event a grand success. Now, I take great honor in introducing our speaker, Dr. V Sangeetha. She completed her BE Electronics and Communication Engineering in Panimalar Engineering College and ME Communication Systems in Anna University CEG Campus, Guindy. Dr. Sangeetha completed her PhD on the Design and Performance Enhancement of Microstrip Couplers from Anna University CEG Campus, Guindy. She is currently working as a manager, research and development in networking and communications in FLDEC Systems Private Limited. She previously worked as a consultant for Invicara India Private Limited and as an assistant professor in our college. Dr. Sangeetha has filed 2 Indian patents. She has over 12 publications in international journals and has presented papers in various national and international conferences. Dr. V. Sangeetha has also received the Anna Centenary Research Fellowship, ACRF, during her PhD course. Now, before moving on to the session, a few instructions to the participants present here today. I request all the students to stay muted throughout the session. Kindly type your queries in the chat box, which will be answered by the end of the session. The feedback link will also be posted in the chat box at the end of the session, and all the participants are requested to fill it to receive their e-certificate. I now invite Dr. V Sangeetha to kindly begin the session.
So, very good evening. So, I'll first share my presentation. Okay. So, can you see my slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so very good evening to one and all, and my heartfelt thank you and gratitude to Chairman Sir, to MD Ma'am, to Director Sir, and to Principal Sir, to our EC HOD Ma'am, our Lab HOD Ma'am, and to the students who have tuned in. So a very good evening. So thank you so much, Madhumita, for the introduction. And so today, as she said, we'll be seeing about the innovations in the world of IoT, right? So this would be the flow of our presentation today. So first we'll have a general introduction. We'll be seeing the innovations, technologies, and to make you understand a bit, we'll be seeing slightly more about the Ble Beacon technology. That'll help you understand what happens in the system. Then we'll be seeing a few cases, okay, as in how IoT is applied in smart offices, retails, during the pandemic, and in smart cities. So that would be the flow of our presentation today. So before we get into what is IoT, let us see what kind of a transformation this particular IoT has got. Okay, so previously there were simple products. Say for example, there was a watch. Using our watch, we just see the time, right? Today, these products have become smart products. Say for example, the watch has become a smartwatch. So the smartwatch, with that, we are able to do so many activities. The number of steps that we have taken today, there is a sleep app using which we can regulate our sleeping period, the time of sleeping and waking up. Then there's a specific health rate monitor. We can monitor the ECG. And then there are emergency notifications. In case of emergency, with a click, you can notify somebody, and we can stay connected with important people. We can listen to songs, and GPS, we can get the directions. And for this particular COVID period, there is also the blood oxygen level app. And there is also an app that encourages us to wash hands. So the moment we get into washing our hands, it says when us to wash for 20 seconds. And the moment we enter our home, we can trigger an alarm to tell us to go sanitize our hands. So there are so many things a simple watch can do today because it's a smartwatch, right? And similarly, the products were isolated previously. There was a separate watch, speaker was separate, television was separate, and mobile was a separate entity. Today, all the entities are connected together, right? So they are connected entities using BLE, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, machine-to-machine SIM, so many ways. So because of that, what are we able to do? By just a click on the watch, we can use it as a remote to control our television, our mobile phone, our laptop. So many things are connected, right? When we sit inside the car, we can use the Bluetooth to converse. We needn't hold it. So many products are not isolated today. They're all connected through wireless technology. So that is the change which we can visibly see because of IoT, right? So as we have seen from that, what is an IoT? It is Internet of Things, as we all know. So what is that thing in IoT? If you see, it can be anything, okay? Anything and everything. But it has to have two features. The first feature is it has to have a unique identifier. It's called a UID, a unique identity that any other device does not have. And secondly, without any human or machine intervention, it must be capable of transmitting the data wirelessly, right? So if it has these two features, anything, say a rat or a rabbit which has a biochip transponder can become a part of the IoT, and a laptop can become a part of the IoT, a shelf, a sofa, a bed, anything can be connected to the cloud. So this particular image which you see on the top, that's a cloud, okay, in which all the devices are connected. And not only that, the second image in which you can see a globe. So it's connected across the globe. Sitting in some other country, a person can control what is happening in his home in another country. So that is the kind of reach this particular IoT has. So it has enhanced the industries in so many ways. They're able to make better decisions, right? So these are all the impact and the positive changes that IoT has brought in. Now, moving on, we'll see some innovations that this particular technology has brought, right? Firstly, smart home. So using a single app, we can control the television, the lighting system, the switches, the kitchen utensils, the microwave oven, the stove. So usually the problem that we face is when we move out, we think, okay, have we turned off this? Have we turned off the light? So that need not be there, okay? So that is possible because of so many sensors, okay? So there is the leakage sensor which detects if there is some leakage and warns us. There's a motion sensor for intrusion detection, and smart smoke detectors to prevent any kind of accidents, and door locks which provide verified access control, okay? And there are smart switches also. So apart from making our life easy, right? So definitely IoT makes our life easy, comfortable, and things like that. Apart from that, as a whole, what this particular smart home does to the world, what benefit does it give to the world? If you see, it saves the energy, right? So starting from the water saving to the electricity saving. If you leave a particular room, most of us forget to turn off the lights and fans. So just imagine if in one room this quantity of energy is saved, in so many rooms, if that is applied, it would give a quantum of energy saving to the world. So that is another important outcome that IoT smart home concept gives, right? And what innovation has it got to the industry? If you see, it has brought a big change, okay? So firstly, there is an important aspect called inventory management, which is from the from procuring the raw material to assembly, processing, manufacturing to delivery of the finished products. The entire process, okay, is managing the inventory. So IoT plays a crucial role. Previously, if a particular raw material was not there, if it got emptied, it would take a long time. Human beings are prone to make errors, so it is human to just forget missing a raw material when there are so many raw materials. Instead, if it is all connected through IoT, we can just keep a warning, keep an alarm that will give us an alert when when the raw material comes to 1/4 of the quantity, so it can immediately be replenished. So such small errors can be prevented. So because of that, the process is fastened to a great extent, okay. And the status of machineries can be updated. There can be a vibration sensor, so even before a problem occurs, based on the vibration, it can give us a warning that there could be a problem in the future. So using that, we can just be preventive and make preventive actions to avoid big mishaps or even accidents, right? So and also it based on the demand based customized products can be given. So based on the decision making analytics we'll be seeing in the future as well. So you all must have known about the industry 4.0. So how the industry evolved. Previously it was all done by human beings, and then slowly mechanization started, and then electrification came in, and today with IoT there is automation everywhere, there is connectivity everywhere, right? Because of that, we are able to process the products, manufacture it, and we are able to offer better quality. And there is demand-based manufacturing, simply not just making a particular kind of products and just keeping it, and it's not getting sold. No, that's not the case. Based on the demand of the people, what is the kind of requirement that today's generation wants? So based on that, the products are customized and manufactured. So there's a lot of variety and variance in the products, and also there is a reduction in cost because it's saving a lot of time. So decision making, improved decision making, we'll be seeing a separate slide about that in the future. So this is industry 4.0, and which will be brought about to a great extent using the IoT technology, okay. And the next sector is the retail industry. So in retail, just a small thing, if you just open your mobile phone and if you see the message section, you'll be getting so many messages from so many shops. You're getting 50% discount if you come to shop this day, this date to this date. So those are all customized messages, so they know when you have come to shop. IoT has provided. We'll be seeing about this again in the detail, okay. And a combination of all the sectors in a particular city, from the transportation to education to healthcare to waste management, everything put together is the smart city concept, right? So these are all the innovations and the variations, okay, the outcomes of Internet of Things, right? So we'll be so for building up all these things, there are so many technologies that are used. So we'll be seeing little bit about each technology now. So each technology is cybersecurity, right? So when so many devices are there and every device is transmitting so much of data, obviously anybody could taper the data, capture it, they could use it for some other reasons. So there's always a necessity for a security. So cyber threats, so cyber security is a very core value. So end-to-end encryption and user authentication, access control, so many things need to be done. So that is a crucial role. So cybersecurity goes hand in hand with IoT. The next is big data management, okay. Now supposing there is a temperature sensor in a room. So what the temperature sensor does is it collects the temperature of the room and it transmits it to the cloud, okay. It transmits it, say, once in a minute. So imagine for 1 hour how much of transmission. For 1 day, hundreds of rooms. Then imagine the volume of data that would be there. So for managing that particular data, for managing that huge data, and it's not necessary that the data will be in the format that you can process. It will be in unstructured format, so that has to be transmitted in the structured format. So many things need to be done. So that is big data management. The next is machine learning. So it has got a lot to do with artificial intelligence, okay. So we are able to improvement the decision making. So one good example for this is we are all familiar with the Amazon Prime and Netflix. So if you just open that, it will give you recommendation. So recommendations, movie recommendations. Suppose if you are interested in action movies, the moment you open, it will give you more action movie suggestions. So based on what you've seen in the history, it will know that this particular person is interested in this kind of movies, and it will suggest you. So that is what is machine learning. So it learns based on the historical data and will give you suggestions. Okay. And the next technology, which is very important, sensors and actuators. It's one of the key technology today. The IAQ monitor, apart from temperature and humidity sensor, indoor air quality monitor is emerging in a very great extent, especially in smart offices and industries. Mainly, the quality of air plays a crucial role, as we all know. So, when the humidity, when the carbon dioxide level and the temperature is in a certain range, okay, which is determined by various organizations like Reset and Lead. So based on those data, when it is within the range, within that particular range, the spread of the virus is minimal. So such things enhance the use of sensors and indoor air quality monitors. Okay, and actuators are nothing but based on what we sense, what are the actions that are taken. So that those are the actuators. Okay, and then M2m communication. As I had told you initially, the communication has to happen without human or machine intervention, or at least minimal human or machine intervention. So a machine must be capable of transmitting the information wirelessly, right? So for that, today there are M2m SIM cards available, which enable a machine to transmit the data wirelessly on its own, right? The next is cloud computing. So if in any IoT picture, if you see, there will be a central cloud and all the devices will be connected to the cloud, right? So that is the central storage server space. So previously, it was necessary for any organization to buy physical servers to store their data, to process their data. But if at certain period of time they do not require that much of data, then that would go waste, right? So this particular cloud technology has reduced the cost to a great extent, so they can use the cloud based on their requirements. So that's cloud computing, right? Now, as I had said, this was all about the various innovations. Now we'll be seeing about one particular technology, which is the Bluetooth low energy beacon technology. And based on that, we'll be able to understand how this particular operation takes place, right? So why this BLE beacon technology? Firstly, it's more used for location based services indoors, right? When I say location based services, you will be asking, what is this location based services? Today we are having proper GPS, Google Maps, which can give us proper locations. Then it can even give to the extent of timeline. At this time, this person left from home, he went to this place, this place, this place, this day. So much of detail you can get. However, it is limited to outdoors. Okay, so GPS cannot penetrate and give you accurate details indoors within a large campus. So more for indoor location applications, these BLE beacons are used, right? So another thing is, BLE beacons can also give you altitude based information, which floor this particular person is, and also it is low energy, so the battery consumption is also less. So we'll see when I say BLE beacon, so the term beacon comes. Okay, so what is a beacon? Beacon is not a big device or anything. It is a simple device which keeps telling, I'm there, that's all. It just transmits its identity like a lighthouse. Lighthouse just keeps blinking, it keeps showing the light. So based on that light, others can interpret, okay, so the light is there, so we have to move in that direction. So that is what a beacon does. So there are different kinds of beacons, like the Wi-Fi router also keeps transmitting its identity, so you will be able to see that in your phone. Similarly, BLE beacons, Bluetooth low energy beacon, uses Bluetooth low energy technology to transmit its identity. So that's what a beacon is, right? Now, Bluetooth low energy, how it is different from the actual Bluetooth that we all use. We use Bluetooth speakers, right? So the difference is, Bluetooth, the actual original Bluetooth, requires constant pairing. Okay, so it has to be paired completely. It transmits rich content like audio, video kind of signals. But Bluetooth low energy, it is, as the word specifies, it is low energy content, just small bursts of data. It transmits and goes off. It just blinks, and there, this is my identity, that's all, and goes off, then transmits. So because of that, one particular device can be used for years together without any maintenance or replacement. So that is what is Bluetooth low energy. Okay, so these are the some Bluetooth low energy beacons which are available in the market and which are doing really well. Okay, so what do they transmit? As I said, their identity. UUID it transmits, right? And any mobile phone which is compatible with BLE, which has an app, can detect the signal and it can give proper messages. Okay, so initially it was Bluetooth 4.0, and now with 5.1 we are able to detect people with more accuracy, and also the angle of arrival and departure can be detected. So that's about the BLE beacons. So when I say about beacons, right, so there's always a software that is required. So initially it was Apple which came up with the iBeacon technology. So when I say iBeacon, you'll be thinking that it is okay, it is only for iPhones. No, it's not like that. Most of the Android as well as Apple phones can detect iBeacon as well as Eddystone. So Google came up with Eddystone, but not much of modifications can be done with iBeacon technology. However, Eddystone is more of an open source, so it gives the people some kind of a flexibility, the developer some kind of flexibility to use based on their requirements, so they can customize the packet and things like that. So another thing is, in the iBeacon technology, there's only one kind of packet transmission. Firstly, there's a UID, major and minor, but there are three variances that come with the Eddystone. Firstly, it's the UID, which is similar to the Apple's iBeacon. Secondly, the URL, wherein you can transmit a web page's URL. Okay, and then there is a telemetry. So as I said, today there are many sensors which are coming up, like the indoor air quality sensor. So such kind of sensor values can be collected and it can be customized in a particular packet and can be transmitted. So that's about the two prominent technologies that are used for Ble Beacon communication. Now, what is this particular beacon composed of? Okay, just a small idea for you to see. So this is one estimate which we had seen previously, that company is Beacon. So it has a silicone casting, and inside, if you can see, there's an ARM computer, right? And there's a low-level software, and there's a battery. And obviously, for transmission and reception, this is the antenna. It's not a straight antenna; it's a meandered antenna. So meandering has been done to reduce the circular size of the antenna. So this is what a beacon is composed of. Just for few of you who might be interested, few of you might will always be interested in breaking open a component to see what is inside it. So this is what the key components inside a beacon. Okay, so how this particular beacon works? As I said, it will not keep transmitting. It will just blink and turn off, blink and turn off, and this particular duration can be programmed by us based on our requirements, right? So more frequently you can do it, and the range of the blinking can be adjusted. So many things, everything is based on our application and our use case, right? So the beacon blinks. Now, how the position of the person can be detected? It's based on a parameter called RSSI, Received Signal Strength Indicator. Okay, so it is the strength of the signal that particular phone receives from the beacon. So based on that particular value, you can estimate the position of that particular person. So the beacon is stationary, it will be positioned in a particular place, but the person will keep moving. So if a person is at this particular distance from the beacon, his position can be estimated. Okay, so that is the concept that is used. Now, as I said, you have a mobile phone, you have a beacon. Now we'll just have a simple flow to see how this process happens. Okay, so this particular beacon will transmit data. It could be an iBeacon or Eddystone packet. Okay, and any iOS or Android enabled phone can receive the packet data, provided it has a Bluetooth connection, internet connection, and an app. Okay, so it receives the data and the app is launched as soon as it receives the packet. Then what happens? It will ask the cloud, okay, what should I do? Because the data and everything is available only in the cloud. Immediately the cloud will interact with other systems and it will give a response within milliseconds, within a fraction of seconds. All these processes also interact with other servers. So all these activities take place in a fraction of seconds. Okay, and immediately the beacon packet will be read and the app will do the suitable action. So this is the process that takes place. Okay, so as I said, it is going to help us in estimating the position of the person. Now, if you're using a single beacon, you can say that that person is somewhere within this particular radius, correct? Similar to the satellite communication concept. So if you're using another beacon, there will be 2 points of intersection. Now, if you're using 3 beacons, there will be one particular point. So based on this trilateration principle, the exact position with good accuracy can be estimated. And further, to add on to this, there are filters, okay, which will use historic data to provide accurate position detections, right? So again, so these are all the advantages. Firstly, it's inexpensive because low energy, and one single device can be used for years together. There's not much of maintenance. Centimeter level accuracy, you can even detect the angle of arrival, and there's not much risk again. So these are all the advantages. However, whenever there is an advantage, there is always a trade-off. So the challenges are, firstly, you cannot place the beacon anywhere and everywhere. So the metals and concrete structures could block the signals. So it could interfere. So you need to properly place and position the beacon. And Bluetooth needs to be enabled in the phone. And too many push notifications could sometimes get annoying. Okay. So apart from the BLE technology, there are also other technologies like Wi-Fi, UWB, RFID. So each technology has its own plus and minus. Could offer an improved battery lifetime. So depending on our application, we can use the suitable technology. So apart from BLE, there's also Zigbee and Z-Wave technology, which are more used for home automation applications, right? So so when a beacon is stationary, it's called a beacon. However, if it is movable, if it's used by people or on things that are something like a smartwatch, in which you can accurately determine the position of a person, right? There are also card tags. These are like the ID cards that we use, right? So you can locate people, and with a press on the card tag, there can be a planning situation, and the use case can be developed by you, even for whatever applications. For your particular application, this particular program can be changed in whichever way. Customization can happen everywhere. Okay, you can also have an RFID module for access control. So that's about the card tag, right? So so now we have seen that when a beacon is stationary, it's a beacon. If it's owned by people, it's a tag. Now there are sensors, beacons which are transmitting sensor data, and the battery life of the beacon is also there. You need a central device which will collect inputs from all the beacons and transmit it to the server, correct? So that device is called as a gateway. So it acts as a central device to receive inputs from all the BLE devices, and it will transmit it to the central server using Wi-Fi. So that's it. Apart from BLE technology, it also has Z-Wave, Zigbee also. The latest gateways have those functionalities also. So this is another important component as far as this BLE system is concerned. Now, the technology, the protocol for this particular IoT is the MQTT, Message Queuing Telemetry Transport. Now, we are all aware of YouTube. Even this particular session is on YouTube. So in YouTube, you will receive the notifications. Only the people who have subscribed to the particular channel and have hit the bell icon will receive the notifications, right? Similarly, in MQTT, there is a central person who's called the MQTT broker, and all the other people are MQTT clients. People in the sense, the sensors, the laptop, or the phone. Okay, so some clients will publish, and some clients could subscribe. Okay, the same client could publish and subscribe also. Suppose there is a topic, say temperature. If a particular client is publishing some value in the topic temperature, all the clients who have subscribed to the topic temperature will receive the published value. Okay, so this laptop and this mobile has subscribed to the topic temperature. So the moment this person publishes, they receive the value. Okay, so the central broker, it does all the receiving, filtering process, and transmitting of the messages, right? So as I said, we are able to obtain improved decision making using IoT. There's a lot of data from so many sensors. So there are so many tools, data visualization tools that are available today, like Power BI or Tableau. So what they have is, they have too many connectors. So whatever kind of data, be it an Excel or PDF or anything, it collects all the data, and it gives the data in readable and dynamic format. So you'll be able to see how the sales is happening in different regions of the country, in different countries, and in different parts of the year, parts of the month. It's extremely dynamic, right? So based on that, you can make proper decisions. The person who's in the decision making role will be able to see each and every detail, and he'll be able to provide decisions based on the demand, right? So this is what is the important aspect of IoT again. Now, we'll just see some challenges. Firstly, as I said, the cyber security is a challenge, and connectivity obviously is a challenge, and compatibility. As one device goes to the other version, the compatibility becomes a question, and also big data handling. And always we are reluctant to go for a change, right? Unless there is we are in a pressure to go for a change. We think we are comfortable with this particular position. Why should we go out of our comfort zone? So that is there. And also it requires lots of skills, right? So the lack of skill set is a problem. And also when machines are taking over, there comes a fear of unemployability. So these are all the challenges in IoT. Now we'll just see some fast case studies, and I think we are slightly running out of time, so we'll just see it fast. Okay, in smart offices, how we can use IoT. So firstly, there is a meeting room finder. So conference rooms are always an issue in offices. So the moment a person moves out, he can just using the app, he can just intimate that that particular room is free for others to occupy, right? And also when there is a new person who's visiting, okay, a proper visitor management can be done. The moment he enters the parking, he'll receive a message to go to a particular person. Okay, he'll be given the directions, and the moment the photo of the person will come, and the moment he leaves a thank you message, so everything will be done. Okay, and in case of emergency, you can, with a button press, you can get emergency help. Automated workflow management. If a person is going to a particular place doing a work, he needn't the person from the central server, he can just intimate, can you please finish the other work and come back? So it would save a lot of energy and resources, right? And then there's inventory management. Okay, and then geo fencing. So geo fences are virtual fences. Okay, so for a particular important crucial components, you can fix geo fences. So if that particular component crosses that particular fence, there could be an alarm. And condition monitoring, the temperature, everything can be monitored, and the lighting and everything can be adjusted, right? So here you can see that this particular device, there's some kind of a fault or something. So immediately the service person gets an alert, and she also gets the direction to reach that particular place. Okay, and this is a meeting room finder kind of an application. So here the person, as soon as she exits, she says that this meeting room is available. So other people will be getting an alert. Okay, so this meeting room is available, so they can use it if they have a requirement. So this kind of advancements are there because of IoT, right? So with a wearable tag, we'll be seeing just how things happen. Okay, in case of emergency, firstly, a beacon is transmitting the information. So a tag which is within the range, which also has a receiver, will receive the input. Okay, and suppose that person has finished his or her shift, he simply clicks a button on the tag. Immediately the information goes to the cloud that this person who's in this position has finished his shift. So immediately the cloud will do the processing, as in who is the next person who has to be intimated. So he gets an intimation. Optionally, he gets a mobile message also to take over the shift. So this can be used for various use cases. Say, for example, there is an emergency situation, you can press a button and the nurse can be called for. So many things can happen. Okay. So in retail, how IoT is used. If you see, say, for example, this person goes to a particular section very frequently. So the moment he has his mobile phone, he can see, he can the person who's sitting centrally, he can get all the visuals, and immediately he'll know that this person is interested in this particular product. So he will get a customized message, right? So an ad will be displayed that you're getting a 30% discount in this particular product. So this is how this particular technology is very much used in retail sector. Now, uh, during the pandemic, how the IoT, what role has the IoT played? Firstly, to identify the places where there are many people based on heat maps. Okay, and in airports especially, the restrooms can be highlighted if there is an app. Okay, and instead of touch screen kiosks, if the information is available in your own smartphone, so many people touching the touch screen kiosk, so that can be recovered, and so many advancements it can provide. Okay, and touchless solution is one of the improving technologies of today. So wherein everything is touchless. You don't have to touch any material. You can just move. Everything is available on your smartphones. That is the situation. One example we'll be seeing very swiftly. Okay, so these are wearable devices. Okay, these are wearable devices with LTE. They transmit and they also receive. Right. Suppose these are 4 people who are wearing that particular device. Now, what happens is when the 2 people get very close, there is an alarm. And also the identity of the 2 people will be shared and stored in the device, and it will be sent to the secure database. Okay, and suppose somebody who's wearing a particular device is detected infected. So from his home, he can simply press a button. So that would send an intimation to the secure dashboard, and the risk manager will send notifications to all those people who have been in close contact for them to be isolated. Okay, and also the places where this person has traversed, that would be identified based on the positioned beacons, right? And immediately that will also be updated to the server, and disinfection can be given. So these are all the advancements. So as soon as this particular COVID situation came up, a company called Estimote and many other companies, they came up with such technologies. Okay, so obviously when there are many transmissions, this cannot be done. But when it comes to a stage wherein there are 1 or 2 infected people, and that shouldn't affect others, especially in crucial companies like the pharma industry, wherein even one person's life, one person is risk. Okay, so they need workforce, more amount of workforce. So these kind of systems can be implemented, right? So moving on, the role of IoT in smart cities. Okay, so this is the last topic. Okay, so firstly, with advancements, there is urbanization. Okay, so with urbanization, there is the integrated township concept. So in one particular township, say like the Mahendra town city, so there is everything that is there in a single place, like the work, live, play environment. Okay, so that is about an integrated township. Now, when everything is automated, connected with IoT, there is automation, and everything happens in an integrated manner, in an advanced manner. So that is the concept of smart city. So in smart city, you can see that this is the traffic signal, the connected traffic signal. So with that, you can prevent a lot of traffic congestion. Like if a person is moving from one signal to the other, so there can be connected traffic signals. So if there is a congestion, there can be a diversion. For ambulances, it helps in a great way. If there is an emergency, it offers a great kind of help. And then there is the street lighting system. So with automation, it is like automated to turn off and turn off at this particular time. But based on the lux level, at times it gets darkened a little earlier. So with sensors that can be detected, and based on those values also, we can make certain outputs. So that is smart street lighting. And then the surveillance system. So in case of crime, there are cameras, but when the cameras are all connected, and when artificial intelligence also is a part of the camera. Say, for example, using the artificial intelligence aspect in certain cameras, they can visualize if people are wearing masks properly. So such kinds of advancements are also there. So these are the impact that IoT has in various sectors, right? So that was about the session today. So we initially had an introduction to IoT. We saw the various innovations, and we saw the prominent technologies, and we saw about the Ble Beacon technology, the tags, the gateways, and what kind of improved decision making that various tools offer. And again, when there are so many advantages, there are challenges also. And smart offices, then retail during pandemic, each and everybody, that is the most important. Life is the most important factor. So how that can be enhanced, and how people can be made to feel better using the technology, and then finally the IoT in smart cities. So that's about the session. So yeah, so
Kailash?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful and informative session, ma'am.
thank you.
Hi, this is Kailash Sundaram, and I will take over the session from now on. Let's move towards the question and answer session. The first question I got from YouTube is, how does the IoT influence the development of smart cities?
Okay, so as I had told in the last part of the presentation, IoT has a very prominent role, starting from the vehicles, the transport sector, everything can be integrated together. Even the smart, the transport and the healthcare, when they are integrated. So if there is some kind of an accident that is happening, when there is an integration between that particular traffic signal to the nearest healthcare center. So that can be an advancement. Immediate action can happen. So yes, so that's just one example. In so many ways, IoT can improve the smart city concept. Yeah.
Okay, the next question is posted by Mr. Subhash. Can we use beacon technology in the case of swarm robotics?
In the case of
Swarm robotics, SWARM
okay.
robotics.
Yes, actually, beacon technology, beacon is a simple transmitter. Okay, so based on what they would like to apply that particular robot, it can be used. It can be used as a tag to detect that particular robot. But basically, it's a transmitter. So it can transmit its identity. Definitely, it will help because it is low energy. So yes, it will play a big role in various sectors. Yes.
He asked another question. Is that for position finding?
Yes, BLE beacon technology is mainly used for position finding. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
So the next question is, what is the difference between IoT and IIoT?
Okay, so it is industrial IoT and business IoT. Again, it is the use case that we are applying. So there are technologies, right? So say, for example, we are using the beacon system. That is what we had seen, right? So if we are using it for business intelligence, okay, so for enhanced decision making operations, so that is business IoT. For industries, if we are using say, for example, for inventory management, so that is the application based. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. The next question is, in what ways is IoT energy efficient?
IoT energy efficiency. So firstly, the technologies that we are using, say, for example, even the Bluetooth low energy that we are using in IoT, so that itself offers a huge amount of energy saving. Okay, and apart from that, IoT helps in saving the energy in various ways. Say, for example, in smart home, so, in the turning off of lights and fans, the example which I had cited. So in a particular room, if you're turning off the lights and fans, there are so many rooms in a particular house. Okay, so that gives so much of energy saving. If everybody does that, then it gives a huge quantum of energy saving. So yes, that is the role IoT plays.
Okay, ma'am. Then I have two more questions. So what is the major impact of IoT in healthcare industries?
Okay, so as I said, IoT can be used even as a biochip transponder. So a person who has had a heart heart transplant, or even the for people who have some hearing issues, so everything, if it is connected through IoT, they have a particular M2m SIM card. So the person, the doctor, can directly keep a track of the patients, of their heart rate, of their ECG, of their decibel level. So many, in so many ways, they're able to keep a track of the people. So even in case of emergency, they can give an alert. So in those ways, the time that is taken, for processing that particular patient or that particular person is reduced to a great extent. So yeah.
Okay, ma'am. There is another question in Google Meet. Does wireless sensors have a great impact in IoT?
Yes, so it is a wireless sensors, as I said, indoor air quality sensors today. There are particle matter sensors, humidity sensors, temperature sensors, CO2, volatile organic compounds. So all these together as a package, it's called the indoor air quality monitor. So ASHRAE and such organizations, they have defined ranges. So if CO2 level is within this particular range, within this ppm level, then the transmission of the virus is reduced. So such kind of things have been developed. So sensors play a crucial role. Say they collect all these values and they transmit it. So people are able to be aware, okay, so there is some CO2 level variation. So let us turn on the ventilation so that the level improves. Correct. So in such ways, these sensors play a very big role.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. That's all for the question and answer session today. Thank you for clarifying our doubts and queries, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Kailash.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can I conclude the session with vote of thanks?
Yes. Before that, thank you so much to Chairman and to everybody, on all the students, and to Akila ma'am for calling me, and thank you HOD ma'am, everybody, and the students especially, for being so patient. Thank you so much.
Now I'll proceed with the vote of thanks. On behalf of St. Joseph's Robo Club, St. Joseph's Institute of Technology, once again I would like to thank Dr. Sangeetha for taking out time from a busy schedule and for providing us with your highly informative insights. My sincere gratitude to the Almighty for always showering us with His immense blessings. My heartfelt thanks to our beloved chairman, Dr. B. Babu Manoharan sir, Managing Director, Mrs. S. Jessipriya ma'am, and our Director, Mr. B. Sasisekhar sir, for their guidance in conduction of this webinar. Also, I would like to express my gratitude to our principal, Dr. P. Ravichandran sir, for his support in conducting this webinar, and our head of department, Dr. C. Nyana Kausalya ma'am, Staff and Student Affairs, and Dr. G. Rohini ma'am, head of department, Lab Affairs, for their word of encouragement and guidance. I would also like to express my gratitude to the head of departments and the lab HODs of CSE, IT, EEE, Civil, Mechanical, and Science and Humanities department for gracing today's occasion. I would also like to take this time to sincerely thank our department staffs and the organizing team for arranging this webinar successfully. Last but not the least, my sincere thanks to all the participants for your active participation and support. We truly hope that you took away something of value through this. Thank you all. Kindly fill the feedback form. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, students, if anyone wants to interact with the mom, you can